Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. For today's video, I want to talk about surviving school. I am in leaving cert, which means that I haven't been that active on YouTube because I've literally been drowning in schoolwork already, but I want to do my best and I don't want to ignore my channel because I absolutely love making YouTube videos. I struggle with school and I've struggled with school for a really long time, so that's why I want to make this video, and I just want to help anyone out there who is struggling. So in this video I'm going to cover a lot of different things that you could struggle with in school, or that I struggle with in school, that I hope would help other people. So if you want to go see what tips and tricks and advice that I do have for getting through school, keep on watching. And if you like the content that I make, just subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. And yeah, we'll get into the video. So for me, the hardest things about school is the stress, not feeling good enough, dealing with having friend issues, falling behind in subjects, my mental health, dealing with some dodgy teachers, being around horrible people, and just having bad mental health. Before I begin, this video isn't aiming anything at my school, just in case. I'm just saying what I feel and just try and help people, you know. I think this is, oh my god, I can't speak today. And these are some problems that people are having in schools everywhere, so this isn't a attack at my school. Just to clarify, I'm just talking about things that I struggle with just to try and help people. So the first things that sorry, I'm holding a pen. I'm a bit nervous. So the first things I do want to get into is just my tips and tricks for getting through school without getting in trouble. Which you could say, oh, you're so like up your own ass or whatever. No, I just like to be good in school. I just like to be organised and try not to get in trouble. Just keep my head down and not get in any trouble. That's just what I like to do. So I have some notes written down, so if I'm looking down, that's probably why. I'm a bit of a scatterbrain, so sorry about that. But yeah, I just have some notes to get me by. So this is important that I think everyone should follow by in school. To get respect, you must give respect. I think a lot of people in school are bold and just they aren't very nice teachers, and then they get in trouble and then they're like, why does this teacher hate me? And it's like, well, yeah, you know what I mean. So that's always my motto, just to be as respectful as I can towards teachers, because at the end of the day they're doing their best to give me an education. So what I like to do is to be early for class, don't be late. I think this is very important for a lot of things, even outside. So outside, I mean on the outside world, you know, when we're not in prison. So just to be organised and to be early, because it just makes a good impression, even for jobs and just things like that. So you don't get in trouble, and it makes you look like you are interested in the work and that you're just happy to be there. Be early for class, don't be late. Did I just say that? I already said that, didn't I? Great. Be organised, try and have all of your books. Now, I know this can be very difficult sometimes if you're running late, or if you've just forgotten, like, because for some subjects you need more than just your book and copy. You need a folder, you need like equipment that you need, for maths, like you need a calculator, you need a math set, you need log tables. So all of that stuff is what I mean. So try and have everything, because teachers do get annoyed when you ask to go out to the lockers and stuff, or if you're like, oh, I forgot my homework, it's at home. There's only so many times you can use that excuse. So don't be rude, but also stand up for yourself. So this is something that I try and live by, is I am a very, I don't take shit from anybody, even teachers. Like if somebody, I'm very like respectful, and I respect teachers and stuff, but if there is an issue that I'm having, I will say it, but in a nice way. But I'm also a very shy person, so it does come across as me like crying or whatever, but I do say when something's happened that I'm not happy with, or if someone's being rude, I will say it. And this just goes for students as well. If you're having a hard time with other students, just realize, like, just be respectful, but stand up for yourself is what I mean. So whether that goes for students who are treating you badly, or if that's just having a little fight with someone, stand up for yourself, because you don't deserve to be treated like that, is what I mean. Try not to procrastinate, so do your homework the night you get it if possible. Obviously this is difficult some nights because you can get like an overload of homework and you might not have enough time to do it, but try and get the homework done when you get it. I know I was awful for this even last year, but this year so far I'm on track. But last year even I would leave essays last minute and stuff, and then you don't realise what you're going to get. So let's say if it's a Monday night and you've got a English essay for Wednesday, I'd always leave it to like Tuesday, but then you don't know what you're going to get on Tuesday. Like you could get other essays or other stuff in other subjects and end up not having enough time. So I think that's just try to get it done the night you get it. Study as much as possible. So this is only requiring to me this year. I never really studied. I'm quite lazy and bad at school, but I always did try my best. So I just study, like if I have, let's say, time in the evening, I'll just revise a chapter I found hard and do the best that I can, or just go over things that I don't understand, or even in English, just revising the texts that we did, just so they don't slip my mind. Always do the best you can. So this just goes for in general. Everybody's best is different to everyone. You know, somebody's best could also be somebody's worst. And I know that sounds really bad, but like, I know for me, like if I was comparing myself to somebody really smart, obviously like my best is probably their worst, but I think as long as it's your best, then you're doing good enough. And I think that's all you can do. Like school, not everybody's academic, and I've talked about this so many times, you're probably sick of me saying it, but not everyone's academic. We're not all programmed the same way. We are talented in different ways, intelligent in different ways, but always just do the best you can so you don't have any regrets, I think. So don't compare yourself to others, just do the best that you can. And sometimes that's difficult. You know, sometimes I'll have tests and I'm just not in a mood to study, or I'm not feeling great with mental health and stuff, which I'll get into later. I'm just not feeling my best, and it's hard to study when you're not feeling your best, but I will go into those later. So those are all of the tips that I have for being organized and good in school. So those are just the housekeeping bits, like the just be tidy bits and stuff. Actually, I would want to say, if you do have any bits of advice in the comments, do leave them, because I'm sure like your advice will be greatly appreciated, even to me and to other people reading them. So if you do have any tips, leave them below. So now I'm going to go in individually into the different areas that I mentioned. So at the beginning I said, so I'm just going to open this. In the beginning I said that I struggled with stress, not feeling good enough, falling behind in every subject, friends, being around horrible people, teachers, difficult subjects, and managing my mental health. So I'm just going to go into that in detail. So it's going to be broken up into bits, is what I mean. So the first thing that I'm going to go into is stress. So the biggest thing for me in school is stress. I get so stressed, and I always have, and it's probably so annoying to everyone around me, because I'm always like, oh my god, I'm so stressed, and they're like, Fiona, just shut up. So yeah, that's something I'm always stressed. I think stress could be my middle name. It's just not helpful. But yeah, so the number one thing that I do to eliminate my stress, or to help me not feel as stressed, is exercise. And I know like a lot of people, they're like, oh, just exercise, and it's kind of like one of those things that you hear over and over and over again, but you're kind of like, just stop. Like, but for me, obviously there's different things for different people, of course, but for me, exercise is massive to me feeling like on top of everything. So whenever I'm finished my study and schoolwork, I do try and okay, sorry, I just got a text. I got a text. Love Island. Okay. I do try and exercise because it makes me feel a lot happier, and a lot like, just it makes me take out my anger and sadness or anxiety in sweat, and I'm burning calories, so it's actually very good for me as well. So I do highly recommend that. And there is bound to be a form of exercise that you do like, whether it's running. I personally love going on the treadmill and just giving it everything that I have, or whether it's dancing, or if it's a fitness class or football or whatever it is, just do something. I think we're supposed to get an hour of exercise a day, so, which I don't do a lot, let me tell you, but I do try, and that's all that matters. So exercise, definitely. Also talking to people, this is super important. And I was actually on the phone to my boyfriend the other day, and I was saying to him that I'm sorry that I'm always repeating myself about being stressed, and he was like, it's fine, like if it means talking about it and that you feel better after it, then that's fine. Because I know that if you say to somebody that you're upset about something and you're saying it over and over and over and over again, for them it can get a little bit repetitive. But I'm just going to move here, actually. It can get a little bit repetitive, but that's not what I mean by it. Like, I don't want to be repetitive, but I also have this thing in my mind. So it is nice just to talk to people, and even if it just helps for a day, it just helps settle and you feel a lot lighter. So do talk to people. There's always people you can talk to. If you feel like you don't have somebody to talk to in real life, you can message. I'll leave down like I'll link below Childline and all of those things that you can message if you don't feel good enough. And there's also online websites too. Or you can message me on my social media, so it'll be linked down below. Or you can message just anybody that you feel comfortable speaking to. So for school, I think the thing that helps me with my stress is making a study plan. Making a plan in general. I'm just going to move you a little bit. Making a plan. Will I regret? No, okay. Making a plan. How many times can I say that? So it's just every evening just writing down what I do. So for example, I have a journal here. 2018-2019 academic planner, so it just has little pineapples on it. It's super cute. And I'll just say, for example, I'll just try and show you like a good day. So for example, so for here, like on the 10th of September, I just have like general homework written down and all of the individual stuff that I need to do and study and money I need to bring in and stuff like that. And that helps me feel organized because I don't forget stuff. So I always write down do general homework. So that's everything that's in my journal that I need done, like say homework I got from teachers. And then I'll write out a chapter that I'll study that night or something that I'll revise, and then it just makes me feel on top of it, and it's handy. So yeah, I got this on Amazon. I think it was €6. It's the cutest thing ever. The only thing I don't like about it is there isn't that much space to write, but I still like it. So the next thing for stress is to give yourself plenty of breaks so you don't burn out. I know a lot of people who in the past and stuff like that, who when they're doing leaving cert or junior cert, have studied early on in the year, and then they didn't give themselves enough breaks, and then they burnt out by the end of the year, and then they felt really sad and really down. So I think it's important to have a balanced life, and it's hard, like, you know, that's easy for me to say, but I do not have a balanced life, but at least I'm trying. So I think it's about doing your homework, doing some study, also getting that exercise or something equivalent or something you love in that day, just to help you feel happier and to be able to deal with your stress. Happy mind, happy body. I think that's very important. So the next thing that I'm going to speak about is not feeling good enough. This is something I feel like all the time. It's the worst feeling ever. Like, it's something that I think maybe it's an anxiety thing. I'm not sure, but I feel like this pretty much all of the time. I've talked about how in school that I'm not very good at school, and I'm sure you've already known that, so I'm not going to say much about it, but I do find school very difficult, and I'm not very academic, to say the least. But so I feel like I come home from school and I cry a lot. It's my way of dealing. I think it's definitely my way of dealing with these emotions. I do cry quite a bit, which is annoying, but it's just my way of dealing with things, and it's just not feeling good enough is something I struggle with, and I still don't really have a solution for it, which is annoying. But I try and remind myself that I'm doing the best that I can and everything will be okay, and that everyone has different paths in life and everything will work out in the end. It's just me being optimistic, I think, but that's what I try and do. I don't compare myself to others, or at least I try not to compare myself to others, because like I said, other people's best could be my worst, and that just, like, we're all talented in different ways, and like I think school only focuses on the areas. It's basically like getting all of these different animals to climb a tree, like getting a fish to climb a tree. A fish can't climb a tree, you know what I mean? So it's just focusing on academic things. I think it's getting better, but like, I don't want to say much about my school, but there's not much there for people who are not academic. That's all I'll say. Yeah, self-love. Self-love is so important, something that I definitely recommend. If it's anything from just doing your makeup. I know a lot of times when I used to be sad in the mornings, I'd just put on a bit of makeup and I'd feel good, I'd feel really good in myself. Or have a shower, which I know is a given and it's obviously hygiene, but if you have a shower, shave your legs, make yourself feel good, go for a walk, go for a run, Go meet your friends. Go do what you love. Sing or whatever it is. Do what you love and just love yourself and try and love yourself through thick and thin. And know that you're doing the very best that you can. That's all I think. Yeah, so that's all I have for not feeling good enough. I still struggle with it all the time. I'm working on it, but it's very, very difficult. So falling behind in the different subjects. Oh, I need to charge my phone. 1 second, I'll just plug you in and I'll be back. No, so you're just charging there. Yeah, so falling behind. Every subject obviously has a massive course. I think there's not one subject that I'm not falling behind in. That's shocking. Yeah. I think the main thing is to try and tackle it in little bits. Like do a chapter one night, do a chapter another night, and just balance everything out. And it's very difficult because I know, like, for me, I'm focusing on the subjects that I'm bad at and that I failed. It's hard. Oh, it's so hard. But just try and do the very best that you can. I might turn on the light, actually. Give me a second, let's see if that makes a difference. Does that make a difference? Yeah, I think so. Does it? I don't know. Sure, look, we'll leave it on now. So just tackle things in little bits, and a study plan will definitely help this. We're only human. We can't know everything. Like, we're not going to know everything. That's for a matter. That's just true. Like, we're not going to know everything. But as long as you go into an exam knowing that you've done the best that you can is everything, I think. And it's sometimes hard because we're very hard on ourselves. So it is going to be hard. But just do the best that you can, which is so much easier said than done. I say this now and, like, it affects me a lot. I think you just have faith in what your life holds. I don't know if, like, what type of faith people have. I know that I believe that everything happens for a reason. I know other people can believe, like, in different things, but that's what I believe. So something I like to do is take every day as it comes. So take everything day by day and do the very best that you can. And if you are struggling, maybe talk to your teachers, and that's what they're here for. They're here to help you. And if they are a good teacher and if they're any bit interested in their subject, they will help you, because at the end of the day, they want the best for us as well. Another aspect that I did want to talk about is dealing with horrible people. Now, I'm not aiming this at anyone in my school because I don't want to get in trouble or whatever. It's just in any environment, whether it be school, work, college, well, that's school, any environment, there are going to be people you don't like or people who rub you up the wrong way, which is fine. But there's also going to be people that are mean and nasty sometimes, and it's hard to deal with that, or hard to deal with so many people that you don't like or that just you don't see the nice side of. I think people act way worse than they are when they're in their friends to act cool. I know so many people who do this, and it's the most annoying thing. You know, you could be talking to a girl or a lad on their own and they're so sound, like they're so nice, and then when they're in their friend group, you could talk to them and they'd be like, you know, which is very annoying. But that's just the way it is. And I think you have to remember that everyone as an individual has their own issues, and we all go through different things. There's not one person in life who does not find life hard, because we all go through different things, and each of those people deep down are probably lovely people, but they're maybe not going through something that's nice, or they're with the wrong people, they're in the wrong environments and all that different stuff. So I think have respect for people as well, even if you don't like them. There's plenty of people I don't like that maybe it's just I was being a bit judgmental, I don't know, but I still try and have a lot of respect for people, and sometimes I don't. Like, if I'm stressed or if I'm in a mood, I can be quite mean and ignorant, and it's something that we all need to work on. But I think just have that level of respect, and if there is someone being nasty to you, like continuously nasty, genuinely talk to somebody, but also feel bad for that person. Like, how does somebody, like, how bad must their life be to treat other people like that? So just maybe have some sympathy for them. Don't give into it, but if it is getting bad, you need to talk to somebody about it, because you don't deserve that. There's been a few people in my life who haven't treated me the best, and I just genuinely feel sorry for them. I'm like, what hurt you so bad that you have to be like that? It's not right. Yeah, I think another thing also I'd like to say is that at the end of school, you never have to see those people again, which is, of course, is a good thing and a bad thing. There might be of course, there's going to be some people you'd love to see again, and things don't work out maybe or whatever, but those people that you didn't like, you're never going to have to see them again, and that's fine. Maybe you might walk past them in the street, that's fine. You won't really have much to do with them. And as you grow older, you're all going to branch out into different aspects of your life, and you won't have to see them again, so it's fine, you know. I just think be the best version of yourself, be kind, be respectful, but don't take shit. That's what I try and be anyway. I was very lucky, am very lucky to be blessed with an amazing year. I'm in 6th year, and literally everyone in 6th year is so nice, so kind, and like just so respectful of everyone, and they're not judgmental, which I'm really happy with. Everyone is so nice. I feel like I could go up and talk to everybody. Obviously I'm quite shy, so I don't, but if I did need to talk to everybody in my year, I would be able to, because they're so nice. Very, very lucky. Another aspect of school's struggles that I did want to talk about is friends. I did touch on this briefly a little bit at the beginning, but I need to get a drink actually. I just needed a drink there because my voice is just going a little bit. Yeah, the element next that I was getting into is friends. I think in friends you go through times, in school, I mean, you go through times where you've got great friends and when you don't. So I'm just going to give a quick explanation of what I think. So in first year, when you go in, sorry, my voice is just not with it today. Okay. In first year, when you go in, you are naive. Obviously, you're young, you're naive, but you have this feeling or this thought process that you're going to be friends with everybody. Or that, at least I can only speak for myself, of course. I wanted to be friends with everybody. I thought everyone was so nice and caring and all of that. But reality is not everyone is going to be your friend. And I did just say I'm very lucky to have a kind year. And I do. That year that I have, the year that I'm in, is amazing. Oh my god. But I don't want to be shady. But I wouldn't, okay, I don't want to be shady. I wouldn't be friends with everybody. Does that sounds bitchy? Just like, obviously, like when you're in first year, you have different views of people. So in first year, I was friends with quite a lot of people. Second year, it started to split up just a little bit, and I started to realise that not everybody was genuinely interested in becoming my friend. Third year, we split up, and you know, you kind of go into your own smaller groups, which I definitely think a smaller group is so much better than a bigger group, just because you have your own friends that you feel, friends that genuinely care about you, and there's no bitchiness, there's no two-facedness, there's just none of that. It's just being in a nice thing. TY, you carry on and you get to know other people. TY for me was that incredible year where I got to realise that everyone else who I would always been afraid of speaking to or talking to was actually lovely, and they weren't scary people. So I just talked to them, and so TY was definitely the year where I got more confidence to talk to people. Fifth year, I'm still with some amazing friends who I absolutely adore. And fifth year, I still thought I was in fifth year. Fifth year I was with. Sixth year, I'm still with those friends. So I think you win some and you lose some. I think that's just all I can say about it. I was very lucky, and I am very lucky to have some incredible friends. Sorry, my legs are itchy. To have some incredible friends, and I am so lucky that I met them through school, and I am just very, very lucky because I love them all to bits. But some people aren't that lucky. Some people can be in a school year that's just nasty. Like I've seen, don't want to be shady. I'm trying so hard not to like make it sound like I'm talking about anyone, but people are going to take it whatever way they want to take it. But I've seen some cases in my school and in other schools where people are nasty. They ignore people, they make people feel like shit, that they just don't care about anyone else. And I feel like for a lot of younger years, it's because they're trying so hard to impress other people that they're being mean. Like they are being mean. And I think if you're going through something like this, just stick with it. Sorry, that sounded weird. Stick with it and just be the best person you can be, because unfortunately not everyone is going to like you. And but really, if those people are bad people, do you even want them to like you? I don't know. But just be yourself always, and just know that Like, if you are struggling with friends, just know that it's not your fault. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not your fault, because I know there are some people who maybe do better on their own and aren't very approachable and stuff. But if you're somebody who does genuinely want friends and is a nice person, and you're still not having people who are nice to you, then maybe it's like, I don't know how to say it, like, without sounding bad, but I think sometimes you're better off on your own if it's just being with not nice people. But then at the same time, I would say just try and get to know everybody, whether even if it's in the same year as you, or even if it's not in the same year as you. Try and get to know other people. There is bound to be somebody who will understand you for you, because I know a lot of people who are fake at school. They're trying to be this person that they're not. So they're being friends with people that they don't want to be friends with. You can see, or is that me being judgmental? I don't know. But they're being friends with people who you wouldn't think they're friends with, because they're nice people. I wish I had some proper advice for this, but I just don't know what to say without sounding like a bitch. Like, I don't know. I just feel so bad for anybody who is going through something like this, because it's such a hard area to talk about. But just keep strong and keep talking to people and getting to know people. And even if it does mean that you get your heart broken a couple of times, still do it. You could meet the nicest person ever and you may not have thought it. You know, you may not have thought that person was nice, but just be yourself. But don't take shit. Do not take shit. That's what I'm trying to say. I just hope this helps, because I know so many people are struggling with the friends aspect of school, and it's something I did struggle with for a while. But thankfully I have some incredible friends. And yeah, talk to people about it. And if somebody isn't treating you nicely, say it. I think you're better off saying it. I hope this helps. I'm actually so bad. Like, it's such a hard area to talk about and to give advice on, because it's always been an area that I've been so, I don't know what to say that sounds nice. I don't know what to say, because it's always like, when I've gone through it, I've never known what to do. But always be yourself, and don't feel bad for being the odd one out, because a lot of the times, a lot of people in school try to be like each other. They copy what each other wears, they copy their makeup, they copy what they do, they copy everything. Be your own individual person. Not everyone is the same. So yeah, another element I did want to talk about is teachers in school. I'm not aiming this at any of my teachers, just in case. Okay. But I think, obviously, get respect. If you want to have respect, you give respect. I try to be very respectful towards my teachers. I hope I'm respectful towards my teachers. I would never want to think that I wasn't. I really hope I am respectful towards them, because I do genuinely appreciate what they do. They're giving me an education, so I do appreciate that. But there has been a couple of times that I have had some experiences with a teacher being mean to me, like genuinely being mean to me. And I haven't really talked about it that often, because it's whatever. But if you've got a teacher who's being mean to you or who's putting you down, you need to say something, because that is also bullying. I don't want to say much about it because I'm still in school, but it's just not nice. Like, I think we're all find different things difficult, but if you find a subject difficult and the teacher's being a bit of a, well, then you need to go somewhere and talk about it, or even confront the teacher about it. I have no problem doing that, and I would do that, but I didn't at the time because I was too young. But yeah, definitely do that. The majority of the teachers I have as people, I think they're lovely. I absolutely love them. I think if you're having a hard time with a teacher, or a teacher's not making you feel great, I think you need to talk about it with either a principal or a vice principal or whatever, or another teacher even, and just say it, or even your parents, of course, and say it, because you don't deserve to go through something like that. Like, you only should go through school once, and if you're having a problem with a teacher being nasty, or a teacher just not really helping you, well, then you need to say something, because it's their job. That's what they're paid for. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is difficult subjects. So a subject that you're finding difficult. Now, I have talked about this a lot, and a subject that I find difficult and always will, and always will, is maths. I absolutely hate maths. I hate it, because I'm so bad at it, but I am dyslexic in maths, so that's why. But I found it really hard. But there's going to be a subject, or subjects plural in my case, where you do find them hard, but it's and you feel so bad about it. Like the amount of times I've cried because I can't do my maths, or the amount of times I've just made myself feel so bad because I can't do my homework, and I don't know how, and I get really low on tests when I've tried so hard. And it's the worst feeling ever, working your ass off to get somewhere in a test and then just not getting there is the worst feeling, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I think you just have to realize that that subject isn't for you. Do the best that you can in the other subjects. Work your ass off. We all have different potentials. Motivate yourself if you can, and do the best that you can, and that's all I will say. We're not all smart. I know a lot of people who go through school and they're okay with everything, but they work hard. Like, I'm not saying they don't work hard. Those people do work extremely hard. So hats off to them, but I would never be one of those people who's very, very smart. It just isn't for me. I'm just not smart in that way. But just love yourself and know that there's something out there for you that you will love one day. So I think you just have to be as positive as you can. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, which is actually probably the most important part of this video, is dealing with mental health in school, which I probably should have spoken about earlier, but it's the last thing on my list. So I have anxiety. I have social anxiety, and I do get depressed sometimes. So dealing with that in school is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's so difficult because when you're in a negative environment in the first place, an environment where you don't feel comfortable, an environment where you're always stressed and always feel like you're not good enough, and an environment where you are constantly on edge, that doesn't reflect well on your mental health. If you have any form of mental health, or even just get nervous, it's going to reflect badly, and it's going to put you in a place of not coping. So my advice to anybody is just, again, do the best that you can, love yourself, and don't hate yourself. I have social anxiety, and when I first started school, boy oh boy did I find it really difficult talking in class. When teacher asked me a question, I'd burn up and I would have a massive panic attack. And in a certain classroom for 3 years straight, I had massive panic attacks every single day. And it wasn't good for my mental health, and it'd make me feel useless, crap, and when I come home I'd cry and I wouldn't do my homework because I was so depressed. So again, a massive thing that helps me with my depression, anxiety, is exercise. And I know I'm not going to say much about it because everyone hears and they're like, oh, shut up, like, which I understand, but we all have different coping mechanisms, and for me it was exercise. Exercise didn't always work. I'm just going to say that now. I've had a bad day, I've exercised, and I've still felt bad after it. So it doesn't always work, but 99% of the time for me it does work. And what else? Also talking to people. When I was younger, I would message Childline quite a lot because they are so supportive. When I was under 18, basically, every little problem I had, I'd message them. They were so sweet and made me feel so loved, and they made me feel incredible. So that's definitely something that helped me. Also speaking out to teachers that I liked. If I was having problems with a subject, I would talk to a teacher and they would help me, hopefully, or they did most of the time, and they were very nice. I think with anxiety or depression or any form of mental health, you have to be patient with yourself. It's a long process, and some days you could have 1 step forward, 4 steps back, 10 steps back sometimes. It's a lot of progress where you're going through stuff and you're trying your best, and sometimes it can be the simplest of things that just throws you back, and it's the worst. It's the worst. Have patience with yourself. There's been many times in school, especially I remember in my junior cert, I missed so many days because my anxiety was so bad and I was getting awful panic attacks all the time. It was awful. I would go home early, I wouldn't come in some days because I was physically sick from it. And that did also reflect badly on my attendance, but at the same time, that was all I knew. I was like, I can't handle school right now, I can't handle it. And I was physically getting sick a lot. I was getting colds, flus, throat infections, all of that, and that kidney infections. So there was a lot going on, and I think you need to look after yourself. So for me, it's all to deal with my mental health in school is taking every day as it comes, being as healthy as possible, exercising, eating healthy. Now I say that I eat so badly, but I do try my best. Eating healthy, making a plan, a study plan, being organised, being around positive people. If there's anyone negative in your life, bye. You don't need it. And just giving yourself as much self-love as possible, and not being afraid to talk out about it. I've talked to many of my friends about my mental health. I struggled with it a lot in third year and TY. There's just sometimes that it just will swallow you whole and there's nothing you can do about it. But surround yourself around a nice group of people who make you feel loved, connected, and you will be fine. And just give yourself as much self-love as possible. School is difficult. It is, like people say, it's the best years of your life. Personally, for me, looking at it now, they've been the worst years of my life. But then again, I could go to college next year and be like, oh, I want to go back to school. You know, they are the best years of your life. It's filled with a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of tears, so many tears, annoyance, anger, and all of that. But I think I'm going to miss it when I leave. But I think just be the best that you can be. Love yourself through thick and thin and do the best that you can. And I think you will be fine. I hope that I've helped. I've tried anyway. This is everything that I struggle with in school. I was going to make a video to just dear 5th years. I was meant to do that before I went back to school, and then I got so busy like getting organised and working and stuff. But I will do that video, even though it's a little bit late. Hopefully next week it'll be up. Oh god, I say that now and it probably won't be. I'll try my best to get it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any things that you'd like to ask me about or any videos that you want me to film, please let me know and I will do them. This year is going to be very difficult for me. For everyone in 6th year, not just for me. It's going to be very difficult, but I'm going to try and keep my YouTube channel afloat because I absolutely love YouTube, and it's doing something that I love to help me deal with my stress and things. I hope this helped you. If it did, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, comment and subscribe if you want to. And I hope school is okay for you. Don't forget, you're never alone, ever alone. There's there's going to be other people who go through the same things as you. Stay strong. You're loved, and do the best that you can. So I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.